I'm your SheBlooms host, Chantal, and I'm here with my lovely grown-ups. I'm going to let them introduce themselves as we jump into this conversation about getting older.
Hi everyone, my name is Irewe Omusangwa, aka Princess Randa. Hey, what up?
Hey!
I am 24, so I am new at this adulting life.
Hello everyone, I'm Yvette Ntagozera, aka I have no aka, and I am 25 with years of experience, and I think I have a bit of experience in adulting.
Hola everyone, Sheila in the house. I'm joining the third floor soon and happy to be here. Thank you, Shashi.
Hey! FYI, Shashi is me and Sheila's, that's our AKA. It's combined because clearly I think we're obsessed with each other, but yeah, that's where Shashi comes from. Also, feel free to hire us to make cocktails. That's our side business. Hey! So I wanted to ask, just to get kind of really started into this conversation, what would you say has taken you guys by surprise about adulting and becoming adults?
Okay, so as the newest member, I was not ready. She wasn't ready. You know, I always wanted to be a grown-up. Like, I would see people, especially because of not living in Rwanda, you'd see people on social media, like people who come back, or like young people who are young professionals and they're living their best life. Of course, social media.
You think it's their best life.
You think it's their best life. And then I'm like, I'm happy to join. I moved back home. I'm like, I'm gonna live my best life. Bruh. It was all a lie.
The gag is
I'm in the ghetto.
This is the realest ghetto.
It is the ghetto. I want to go back. I want my money back. No. But we move.
Yvette, what do you think?
I think mine is quite a different story, to be honest. Maybe it's weird, but I feel like I have two lives, like the adult that has always been an adult and the child that has always been a child, and it comes out in and out. So I feel like I was introduced to adulting way before my time, and so I had no choice. And maybe that's why I always want to be known as Forever Young. Maybe it's a way of like rebelling against nature. So I really didn't think about it at that time. So I just thought like it's just normal. This is life. It has to be done like this. But I always believe that there's adulting and there's a child in you. So it's a way of balancing. So I don't think I've grown up 100%.
That's a way to look at it. I don't even think, sometimes I always think I forgot my inner child until I'm like, maybe drunk. Usually, I probably, or like on the weekends, one of them. Like, you're 9 to 5, you have to think a certain way, live a certain way. You know, be an adult. Whatever society tells you is adulthood. I don't even know properly what that is. Fake it till you make it, I guess. That's my motto. Sheila.
I think I agree with Yvette. Personally, I think I'm both a child and an adult.
Hey, five!
Them babies.
Babies. So sometimes keeping it as a balance is a bit hard, but I think with me joining the third floor, I'm getting there. And yeah, I think, and it's always good to be an adult, but always have that child in you.
Do you think any of you had like misconceptions? Because I remember growing up, like I grew up in a house where, so my sister is 6 years older than me. And then I grew up with like my mom's younger sister. She's like over 10 years older than me. And I always used to think they had their life together. Like I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to be an adult. This is like when life begins. Is when I become an adult. And now I'm like, where is the reset button? Where is it at? Where do I go back in time to when all I was worried about was like watching TV? You know, so like I don't know, what's your biggest misconception? I think mine would be that adults have their shit together.
Yeah, you're right. Because what you see, and it's not just like within like our families and all that, it's what society showed us. Like in this ads life, everything is like, they show you once you're an adult, you have your own money, everything is gonna be fine. But that's not true. You got bills after bills.
And emotions.
And
So many emotions.
The roller coaster.
Like,
Oh my god, Yvette, I did not, you know what, I didn't realize that. As a kid, I always thought like my emotions.
Did we
were-
even have
I
emotions
didn't
as
have
kids?
them, clearly.
We were
Now
just
I'm
angry.
always in my feelings,
exactly.
you know?
constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know, for me, I used to look at adults as, especially the women folk, like your aunties, your mom, like they're graceful, they're beautiful, they have jewelry, they have good clothes, and they have perfume, they drive cars, they go somewhere to work, come back and take care of you. Like that's what I thought adulting was. And they had answers to everything and they did not have any faults. And then adulting happened. I was like, I'm not ready. Like you said, I was ready, but I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I thought, again, it's having everything in a perfect way.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I now go by this saying, or I don't know what you call it, is the more I know that I don't know. For me, that's adulting. It's like unlearning everything.
Yeah.
And I just blame media because, like, why do shoot it?
There's so much pressure.
Is it
Yeah.
the media though? Even our families, better do shoot sekoko.
No, but think about it. Think about like the comedies. Think about like the independent women, the movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish they told us. At
You
least
know?
now, maybe the movies and the comedies and the series are more like open and real about adulting. But back in the day,
But they, even in the movies and all those things, like reality TV, they make the struggle look pretty.
I know.
They don't even show you the struggle.
They don't.
Because
You
if you,
guys had reality TV then.
The Hills, The Hills was reality TV.
There was MTV.
There was MTV. Sheila was, were you watching Mukede?
I never used to look at that as adulting.
What
I
was
used
your
to look
adulting?
at that as more entertainment and all that.
Uh-huh.
But for me, adulting was more a role model.
Yeah.
Someone who takes care of the family, someone
Yeah.
who takes care of the people surrounding him.
Yeah.
So I used to look forward to that. So for me, it's more responsibilities than entertainment, or I don't know. Like reality TV to me is not a sign of adulting.
Of adulting.
But rather, like, okay, me when I was young growing up, I thought anyone who takes care of themselves or takes care of the families, anyone who gets paid, earns money, is an adult. So I used to look forward to that, but clearly.
Were you looking forward to taking care of other people or looking forward to your paychecks?
Both.
Oh, she was.
When I was still young. It's different now.
Now you're like, go make your own money, please.
Yeah, it's all about me now.
So,
There's that. So there's wanting to like grow up and thinking that you know what it means growing up and all of that. And then there's like, I want to say like the Irebe's age, maybe, when you're like coming from university and this is like your you know, like your first big job and all of that stuff. And I remember when I was going through that, I really thought, you know what, I'm already an adult. Like this is, I'm a bad bitch. I'm an adult. And then you have your parents who don't treat you as an adult. You know? So having yourself seen by your family members as an adult, how do you navigate through that? I can tell you my ways, but like for Idebe who's just going through it, how's that going, sis?
yeah. From the oof. They're gonna kill me if they hear this. But actually, my parents, surprisingly, they're pretty supportive. Like, I also think the fact that they're not here to be
Hovering
over me helps also, because like they'll be supportive because I'm here, not alone, but like I'm not with them, so they'll be supporting me and all that, like into what I want to do, if I want to move out and all that. But when it comes to the rest of the family, you I keep on like clashing all the time with them saying, oh, why? Because I wanted to move out. Why do you want to move out? There's no girl who can move out if she doesn't get married.
Exactly. Me and Yvette have some experience.
And it's like, why? I recently, some family members were asking why I need a car. I'm like, bruh, do you take me to work? Really?
I understand.
And it's those little things. It's so frustrating because you're out here criticizing my life, but you're not making it better or making it easier. If you still think I'm a child, treat me like a child, man. Take me to work. I would be happy. I wouldn't be paying for fuel.
Cabs.
I wouldn't be paying for cabs. All these things. But the fact that you're just sitting there and criticizing this young person for doing whatever, living my life, going out. I have to be with friends, I have to live my life, my best life, because I don't have any responsibilities. Enjoy my money. But it's always a problem, But it's like, oh, don't go out. It doesn't look good on you. Like, you need to know, like a girl. What? It's just
such a bore.
It's hard.
It's interesting that you said something, and I really resonate with it. I think a lot of African parents would want you to adult in a way that you have the responsibilities, but not the freedoms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they will expect. I'm not saying that this is the wrong way to approach it. This is just my observation. They would want you to contribute to the daily expenses, or take care of this person, or do this, pick up this person, all those adulting elements. However, the freedoms of being an adult, they don't want to give it to you. So it becomes a very confusing time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, for me, it wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
The transition was really hard for my mom. It reached a point we had to actually continuously have discussions as family to make her understand, because for them it has switched for you that you're an adult, for them it hasn't. Yet there's expectations on you as an African child to take up the burden now. And I used to ask, you realize you want me to act like an adult through responsibility, but you don't want to give me the freedom of either choice or expression or whatever else that comes with the freedom of being an adult. So that is one of the biggest, fights or confrontation I had with my parents. But it's a journey. It's always a journey.
Yeah.
I remember when I was moving out, when I announced that I was moving out, my mother lost her mind. She legit thought I was the worst child, called up everybody in her phone book, reporting me. I was like, I don't understand. These people are not going to pay my rent. I'm telling you, I've come with a plan. This is my plan. I have my rent money. I have ABCD. I want to move out. These are my reasons. Why? None of my reasons made sense to her. And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm now. How old did I move out at? 28, maybe. Maybe I was 28, 27.
27, maybe.
Yeah. And I was like, I just want to live life as an adult, alone, because I was like, at home, I'm never going to experience that or feel that, of which for me it was different because I had kind of gone through that, living alone for university, even high school. I had left home at 16. So it was really weird being an adult since I was 16 to 25, and then I moved back home, and then I have my mother treating me like a child. So my mind could not reset back, and there was so much arguments, so many, every little thing, from a cup being in my room. I'm like, I just drank tea. I literally just put the cup down. Why are we having an argument about a cup? To me moving out, and I was like, you know what? I want to pay my own bills. I want to go to the market, all this stuff that I just want to experience life as an adult in Rwanda. Anyway, that did not go over well. She still, sends me messages. Why don't you just move back home? I'm like, I've just asked you for mobile money. Do you have money or not? Send me money. I know this is not a thing about me moving back. I'm just broke at the second. Yeah. Anyway, Sheila still lives at home. Sheila, how is that going for you?
For me, I think growing up with a single parent, I think you're forced to be an adult at an early age.
True.
So I think because you see all the struggles that single parents go through, you always want, like, you're like, once I get money, I really want to take care of my parent. So you're forced to be an adult at a young age.
You kind of like are a parent also.
Exactly.
You know?
So I think me, because of what I went through with my mom, even at school, I was called a mother with my friends. So they used to call me mother because I was forced to be an adult. So then I used to give advice, and also like my other way of living, like saving money for the future and all that. So I think I was forced to be an adult, but to a parent, you're still a kid. Yeah, but I think like my mom treats me both like a kid, but also an adult. Like she can never allow me to move out ever, but she still expects me to provide for the family and also be very responsible and all that. So I think for me, I was forced to be an adult, but I love it because then it shapes you for the future. But still, they still perceive me as a kid. I'll never move out until I get married.
Do you know
Which
what I
is
find
sad.
so weird is that concept, and I remember also bringing it up to my mother. I didn't want to leave home when I was entering another home, like a marital home. I to this day think it's the strangest concept I've ever heard. Like, are you not gonna live life alone? Experience it like I don't understand the cultural thing. I mean, if you move out as a girl, wouldn't die, but still,
It's always the bias.
yeah, it's
always
a
the
bias. But I'm like, wouldn't you prefer, even like as a man coming to a woman or something, wouldn't you prefer to marry somebody who has, taking, like, not even taking care, but like held up a household?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's so weird that African parents don't want you to go and like practice that
Yeah.
and then go into a marriage. I don't know. It's just something that's weird.
I think the mentality is that you will practice it at your own home.
Yeah.
For them, they don't recognize, or they don't acknowledge you moving out and living by yourself as a home. It's just a place that you live. But for them, a home is somewhere that you have a husband and children, and you're taking care of them and all those things. So it's hard for them to actually get that concept. For me, it's interesting because I lived at home at one point, lived by myself, then went back home. And it's interesting, by the way. It's a very interesting aspect. I feel like I'm so glad that I lived by myself. One of the greatest things to ever do is live by yourself, not like with how do you call it, like just have a house and,
Yes.
because you learn who you really are.
Yeah.
The weird thing is I've always wanted to be like this independent person with their own thinking and everything. So when I moved out, I had a roommate. I realized we're more of our parents than we realize. It is a sad, or maybe a good realization, that every single thing they have downloaded since birth will come out when you're by yourself. It is so weird. So, but I think it's one of the best experiences, really. You get to know yourself, what you can take, what you can't take. And then something very interesting, adulting, I feel like, is also learning to live with other people. When you're a kid, you can decide, I don't want you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to play with you. Get out of my face. Or, But now you're an adult. You have a roommate. You have to find a way of living with that person. And they're totally different.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. You can say like, oh, we're friends. We know each other. But once you start living with someone, you start really knowing them.
Yeah.
So I think the adulting part of it for me was learning how to live with someone who's grown up from a different place, have different ways of thinking, ways of carrying out whatever they're carrying out. So, yeah.
I think for me, because I've accepted it, and I think it won't happen, me living alone. And maybe speaking on behalf of all the people who are experiencing the same thing, I think the best thing to do is, once you see that you can't leave the home, what you do is take up more responsibilities. Treat that home as if it's your home. Right, so that's what I'm doing personally. So I'm like, you know what, mommy, let me take care of this. So I treat it as if it's my home. If I'm shopping for my home, because the reality is you leave your mother's house, going to your husband's house. It's hard, but then you just start treating it as if it's your own household. That's what I do.
Makes sense. Irebe, were you thinking about living with roommates, housemates, living alone?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about both. At first, I thought about living alone, because it's that moment, like you said, where you want to learn about yourself, about you want to self reflect, self do that, because I've had roommates in college.
Okay.
I've lived in apartments in college, and I've had roommates, and it was great. It was an amazing experience because, like you said, you live with strangers and this time for me it was even from other countries. They have completely different cultures. I had 4 roommates. We were 5 people in one apartment.
Oh, wow.
So that was crazy.
That's many people.
Wow.
That was crazy. And of course, it's the US, people bringing in boyfriends and
Other things.
So that experience living with people, I've learned, but I've never been alone. Like where I can say that I'm really alone.
Yeah.
And I also want that experience, like before I get married or something. I wanted to know. I mean, I think I already know who I am and what I like and all that. But that moment of being really alone, having your me time when you go home, you don't need to to wait for somebody or do something. It's really something that I would want to experience. So yeah, with that, I wanted some place to live alone, but also budget wise. Having roommates would be
nice.
it would be very nice.
Bills pile up.
I know. Speaking of bills, I think 3 of us here are children of single parents. So as Sheila had mentioned, and also Yvette, when you're coming from a single parent home, you learn about bills very early. I mean, I know I've always heard about bills, but I was not mentally prepared for bills. Somewhere it didn't add up that like I need to balance a book. Like I always knew, there's rent, there's electricity, cash power, which by the way keeps going up. I think every
So
how many
fast.
months. I'm
My
tired.
goodness.
I am tired of cash power.
Yeah.
Water bills, umutekano, which is another one I never saw coming.
And they come so ready.
Umutekano, first of all, they knock the loudest.
And they get numbers too.
I'm like, I cannot handle this stress in the morning. And I love how they know your working hours, so they really come when you're about to leave the house. And they're like, you need umutekano and garbage. Things I didn't expect. But learning how to balance your books. Do you think you guys were taught that, or like, I guess maybe life taught you? Your life taught me.
Well, I kind of like Sheila. Like I think, again, growing up, I'm the third born. Yes, but I always felt like.
Oh my God, you act like a firstborn, Yvette. I didn't realize that.
So I'm the firstborn girl.
Okay.
So there was so much expectations piled on me because a Rwandan girl who's a firstborn, you do not have too much room to mess up. Like, I think maybe it's a global standard whereby women, you're not allowed to mess up too much.
Yeah.
Right? Now, put on being Rwandan. It's another thing. So I don't think I was given too much room to be, to mess up or just, to be stupid or to make mistakes. So I grew up very fast. And my mom used to tell me that I used to like literally, put my brothers in a kumurong, so to speak. So I feel like I was responsible at an early age. So yes, when I lost a parent, I took it upon myself, along with my brothers and sisters, to be responsible. So I feel like it came way early.
Were you making money at that point?
Thing is, it was, when you're young, you're given an allowance, or there was a way, you do your chores and you're given something, or you sell, you buy something, sell something. So in terms of money matters, I was very responsible. I used to save up, if I want to buy something. I wasn't a spendthrift because, they keep on like, oh, you have to be responsible, you're the firstborn girl, you have now sisters looking up to you. So yeah, it started from way back.
For me, it's different. I think the balancing of the books, because my mom's character is she wants to take care of everyone, but she also doesn't want to bother you. So like even when we're doing something, she's like, no, it's okay. If I have money, I'll take care of you. But then it's this thing of, in my head, I was like, I don't want her to forever take care of me. So then I would, I did every single job anyone will do. I was a waitress. I worked in a saloon. I was a teacher. I was a teacher. I was a middle school teacher.
And she was a protocol. Oh, your protocol?
I was a protocol in Palma. I was in Uganda. Like my whole thing was because I wanted to give back to my mom. So she didn't teach me to balance books or maybe find a way, but then I always wanted to please her. I always wanted to make sure that I provide or give her back. So then
let's celebrate daughters.
So I was like, every time I'm like, okay, this is not the type of job I should do, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just work to get money and give back to my mom. So somehow that then forced me to know how to handle expenses and handle profits and save and take care of my mom.
I have a friend who, when she got her first job, you know how they ask you for like your bank account or whatever, and her first bank account was a joint bank account with her mother. I mean, that's a way to look at it.
My current account is a joint account with my mom.
I was like, that can never in my lifetime happen, right?
Yeah, that can never.
I know my new salary.
I've never thought of it that way.
Right? I was like, what? That's a bit strange. I was like, I understand
so giving, though.
Giving a part of your salary to your parents or whatever. And every time she had to withdraw, she had to like explain why she was withdrawing money. And I was I was like, why are people asking you about how you spend your... I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, yeah, I shared with my mom. I was like, why would you have a joint account with your mother where your salary goes and you cannot withdraw from it? Because yours is a savings, right?
No. So my first account when I started work was a joint account. So I still have that account joined with my mom. Like,
but you opened that account.
But then I actually have two more accounts.
That is
so I have my salary account and I have my savings account. But she's do they say second in hand? In case you die,
next of kin,
but she doesn't know. So maybe they'll let her know once I die. But I still have an account with my mom that I started when I started my first job.
Cool,
so if I get money or something, or even my sister, we just put it in the account for her. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's nice. I think I should do something like that.
Yeah, my parents are just next of kins. And my mom, I love you, Mom. I know you're gonna listen to this, but we will not share our accounts. If you need money, it's okay. I can give it to you. But
Mommy, text me. I'll give you money. You don't need my bank details.
You don't need my bank details. You don't need to know, because like every time you spend, like you're at a bar, it's midnight. You get a text, bruh.
I know.
Can you imagine? Every time you
cocoa beans. What are these things that you are spending money? You are supposed to be saving up for your future.
You said you were saving. What is this?
No, I actually fight with my mom every single time I want to travel. She's like, why are you wasting money? I'm like, Mommy, it is my money that I work for. She's like, no, you should save and use it for something else. I'm like, no, if I work, I need to also give back to myself.
Treat
so
yourself.
They're still in your life. They'll always control your life, whether it's your money or not.
But then again, there's two generations of adults, because their generation, it was all about saving, and they didn't have a country.
They didn't have a country,
It was all about that, and we are more enjoying the fruits of that work. And it's like, for us, we want to enjoy, like, I mean, this is a millennial thing in the whole world, where we care more about enjoying life than thinking about the future. Because guys, look at climate change.
We know right now.
The coronavirus.
And you guys, the thunders, the lightning. It's just a
people are like, yeah, end days are now.
Apocalypse, you people.
Like, Let's travel and enjoy life. Enjoy
Let me go to Dubai before I die.
Be done by then.
Life is not guaranteed. Yes, save. Do not get bankrupt or anything. But also keep some money for enjoyment. Live life.
Setting goals. I remember when I was younger, way younger, I used to say I'm going to be married by 27, and after 27 I'm going to have my first kid by 28. I'm now knocking on 30's door and I don't have a text back, so things are really looking hectic, my friends.
For me, I think, okay, so when I was young, my goals were kids and a beautiful husband.
Did you set ages?
Yeah. No, I said by
A lot of
2020.
girls do that.
No, I said by Visio Vent, I'll have a husband and 3 kids.
3?
Yeah, 3 kids. And also, I also wanted to be a doctor. But I think right now, my goals have totally changed. Yes, I want a husband and kids, but I don't think that's a priority now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I think I need to get my career straight. I need to make money. I need everything else, and then that can come later.
After.
So I think with growing up, your goals totally change. Your priorities are totally different.
Definitely.
Okay, since I am 25 with a bit of experience, what I learned is what until you, especially if you're that type of person who sets goals by the time they're like 4 years old. I don't know, I feel like life has a way of making you laugh. It has, oh my goodness, you set goals, you do this, and it turns out so differently. And I think that is one of the biggest lessons I learned as an adult, is that it's good to set goals because you have to have somewhere you're going. But the thing is, you're not assured of tomorrow. You're not assured of where you'll be. There's so many uncertainties. So being an adult is also allowing uncertainties, allowing room for the uncertainties and being okay with uncertainties. Because I was not that person. I was a person who, if things didn't go my way, I will just collapse, erupt, just become messed up. So I feel like as a spiritual person, I believe sometimes you're allowed to go through a lot of hard things to just remind you, as much as you can have control over some things, I feel like there are things that you don't have control over, and you just have to learn how to ride the wave, you know?
Yeah, I agree. But I also think that setting goals gives you hope. There's that hope. Because again, I mean, I'm the youngest here, and I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of dreams. But when I'm 30, I want to be the richest woman in Africa. Speaking to existence.
Speak it.
We shall not discourage you.
Yeah.
Your faces, no.
If the room went silent.
The room went silent. But like when I look at my goals when I was 10, when I was 15, when I was 20, things change all the time. But having those goals gives me hope, because if I don't have that hope, I will be depressed. I will be very depressed. Already this adult life is depressing. So now when you add in, there's no hope for the future shit.
But I also think right now, because I think we're now grown-ups, I think you're also now grown up, I think also we need to set realistic goals that we know we are going to
Smart objectives.
Exactly. Because sometimes we we shoot
for the stars.
Shoot for the sky. So I think sky.
Joss.
That one.
The galaxy.
So I think in growing up, or now when we're adults, we also need to set realistic goals. Like, don't say I wish to be a president of the US.
When you have no papers.
You have no papers.
You have no green card. You want to be
like, in 5 years I need to be the president, or you say in 2 years from now I need to be the MD of.
Although, to be fair, speaking of unrealistic goals, Trump is president. No one saw that shit coming.
Real.
Yeah, but he built an empire. You can't just wake up and be a president. So anyway,
Yeah.
I think it's more like set also. Goals is good, and it gives you hope, and it gives you the courage to fight,
work,
to work and fight for it. But I think also realistic goals. Now, younger is
And a
different.
roadmap for that. For that growth.
So that's where the vision board comes in.
Yeah.
Yes, me and Sheila recently took place in what was it called? A vision
22
board party?
Yeah.
Oh, so that
Yes.
thing is going around Kigali, eh?
Yes.
Hey.
By a lovely sister Diane hosted us.
So you cut pictures out of magazines and stuck them on.
Well, me who is prepared came with pictures. Sheila used
I
my
was with
leftovers.
imagination.
I was prepared and then lost my. I actually left them in here.
She left them somewhere. Irene might have Sheila's vision board walking around.
Oh wow.
I had it. It was with me.
But still,
That vision.
still, she managed to pull her shit together and has a lovely vision board. But yeah, I think there was something we watched like a Steve Harvey video before we started vision boarding. It was all about setting goals, being intentional, having something that you see every day that like is a reflection of what you're working towards. Because I think sometimes you also get lost in the sauce.
We do. So
You know?
much. Yeah.
You think, oh, I want to achieve A, B, C, D. I'll use an example. Yvette had been telling me for like what, three and a half years to start a podcast. I was like, yeah. I'm going to do it. I was like, definitely, I'm going to do it. And technically nothing had stopped me, but I was like not working towards that goal. Whereas I think 2020 also brought maybe a different mindset. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to record and see what happens. Whatever happens, whoever listens, whoever enjoys, hope you guys are enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being intentional in what you're doing. I think those are the types of goals that now I have. I don't have age limits now anymore.
Oh.
Age is
If
nothing
you
but
can
a
hear the
number.
clicking of-
Yeah, 2 snaps, Yvette is clicking.
So for me, I'm all about vision boarding. Like I started those things when I was like 5 years old, but I'm unlearning a lot of things in my adulthood. And it is basically, I used to do external goals. I want to do this, and this, and they come true. Like I used to write a list, put it in my bathroom, and every day I used to speak it out, affirmation, and they happen. But human beings are so complicated and so complex. I sat down afterwards having achieved them, and I was like, am I ecstatic? Am I happy? And I'm like, wow, that's so weird. I don't feel like I'm excited that I reached my goal, but something inside me is, I don't know, it's still not settled. So for me, I literally decided to ask myself this. Have I known what my purpose is? I know you don't have one single purpose in your life. I think it changes with stages and age and all those things. But am I aligning myself internally with the external surroundings? So that when I'm setting a goal, it's something that is within me. It's just not, oh, I need to have this amount of money by this time. Oh, I need to have this car. No, it's, if deep down I have a dream and it's something that really, really calls me, how do you call it? It speaks to me.
Your calling.
It's like a calling. If deep down you know, like, this is really what I want to do, it should be a goal. So I learned, just don't put goals for having a vision board. Saying, learn who you really are. Learn what makes you tick, what you can't live without, what gives you wings, not Red Bull, but what makes you happy.
Or Red Bull, because I'm a
know.
fan.
You know what makes you happy, and that can be translated into goals. So by the time you're done and you have accomplished, you feel, you know what?
Fulfilled.
Yeah.
Contented, exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's also part of adulting, knowing who you are and being unashamed for your goals. Maybe I just want to, I just want to do this, which might be totally different and unpopular, but it's yours.
Have you hit that yet? Because I think you hit that at like 28. if I'm remembering when that came to me, I think like 28, 29 is when that hits.
Yeah,
heavy.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Take that as a lesson.
Definitely.
A word.
Yeah.
A word from Yvette. Sheila, seeing how we are 30 in how many months, how many days? Do we have a countdown?
Not yet.
We need to start a countdown. But yeah, Sheila is
2 months.
is my May sister, aka the best month ever to be born in.
Yay.
March.
I highly disagree. You're March, baby?
Yes! So it's 2 March babies versus 2 May babies. That's what's happening.
March babies are just out of this world.
There we are.
I really
Like,
don't think
seriously.
so, but okay. I mean, we love y'all, but like we're clearly more fun.
Nah,
No,
doubt
no,
it.
seriously.
Doubt it.
No, I don't think so.
Tell me, how do you think 30 is hitting?
At the beginning of the year, I actually was telling people I have changed. 30 has changed me. I'm now.
I remember that.
Not Chidi.
Not actually, I'm
remember
I'm 30. I'm like, something has changed in me. I'm like, wow. I was like, I stopped doing a lot of things. And I was like, wow, I can stop this. I can stop this.
Don't tell me.
Things are falling apart.
Sheila, no.
All things fall apart.
Why?
I thought, I literally thought 30 was going to change me. And now I think I've gone back to the old me. So I think it's a mindset.
But you know, it's I think I was telling you this, like, you don't need to change completely because you're a whole adult or what. You choose, like I've told you, you're fun, Sheila. Don't ever lose that. Just because you're an adult, you can't just become boring like that or not be fun or all that. Like, you need to stay yourself.
It's not about changing the fun or anything. I mean, like, you talk to yourself, you tell yourself things. You're like, okay, I need to reduce on this.
Yeah.
I need to, set priorities and do this and that and that. Not that you change completely. You cannot change completely. But I think it's what you tell yourself, because you're like, when everyone turns 30, you're an adult, you are now a
You
grown
see, now
up.
that's the issue. It doesn't come from within. It
Yeah,
comes
that's the
from the
thing.
expectations
Yeah.
of
Exactly.
people.
Yeah.
And you can never change yourself with that.
Yeah, no. So that's what I was
Exactly.
saying. Because at the beginning, I was like, yeah, because I was telling myself that. Okay? But then reality hits, and you cannot forever pretend.
I know.
So you just be yourself, and I think your time will come for you too. I don't know.
Also, I think me and Sheila thought that in the beginning of the year, things would fall apart. Like we thought, I think that's what happened. I think we thought we were going to have a breakdown in Jan. It didn't happen. Instead, we were like, oh my God, we don't feel no types of ways. We were like, this is amazing. We're coming into our own. Sheila, have you cried? No, I haven't cried. Even me, I'm very kawa. I'm like, we were each other's therapists. We were like, we're so fine. You know what? We got this. Just an hour ago, I was like, Sheila, I've had a mental breakdown. She was like, oh my God, I thought it was just me.
Wow.
I'm like, let me tell you, I think that's what it is.
What type of mental breakdown are you guys experiencing at this moment?
I think it's a freak out of like, oh my God, I'm turning 30. And then you go back to those goals that you had as a child that you are nowhere near achieved. And then you're just like, oh my God, what have I achieved actually by the age of 30? I think you think of it negatively as opposed to, we have jobs, we are successful. Nobody thinks like that. Instead, we're just like, well, where are the husbands? Where are the masters? Where are the children? Where is my house? Have I built a house? Where is it? You start thinking of so many things. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm nowhere. And so that's the mental breakdown. But I think for me and Sheila, what had happened is we thought that was going to happen January 1st, 2020.
So it's delayed.
It delayed.
So more
It's
stress.
still delayed.
It has delayed, and it's now a build up. So hopefully we find some coping mechanisms very soon.
But I also think, like you say, the pressure of the external people, your parents, your friends, like they're like, you're 30, your friends are getting married, you're 30, your other peers are getting promoted, or something is happening, people have houses, people have land. So you always have that
Social pressure.
You're like, I need to get there.
Yeah.
And it actually gets you to depression or mental breakdown.
I
So
think
you'd rather...
totally. I agree with you. When I turned 30, oh my goodness, it was like a depression. It was a depression because it's so weird for me. Apart from all those pressures, it was like, I don't know, I had all this, that communication of a woman has an expiry date.
Oh Lord, I haven't reached that one yet.
So for me, I was like, so I had convinced myself, I was like, okay, so by the time I turn 30, will they start seeing the difference? Will I start now like melting
With wrinkles?
and having wrinkles? And then like the people who used to holler, they'll be like,
Yeah.
you're looking weird. So
Looking like Jessica in Love is Blind.
Let me tell you, I can't deal with Jessica.
okay, so basically that's what I was thinking, and I thought about it for such a long
You
time.
you think everyone could like see your age
Exactly.
from the outside?
As in, I was like, okay, Yvette, you need to accept that you've turned 30, and you know what? Beat them, you know, how do you call this? Like, make sure, like, protect yourself before they like hit you. So mention that, oh, you're growing old and all those things, so that it's like a defense mechanism, which is the worst. But I thought like they would know, like, you know, when I'm hanging out, like, oh, okay, these people are not talking. Maybe they think I'm old.
Jesus.
I literally, that was my breakdown, by the way.
First of all, Irebe thinks we're old. That's number one.
Do I?
What?
We hang out, man. Like,
I think we
But
should
you
be
think
old.
we're
But you think we're old?
You
No, I don't
think
think
and
so.
say you and
She
every-
calls us
always
old.
call us
Is it
old.
because
those are like
Muchacho.
jokes.
No,
If
but
I
we
thought you
are
were
old. We are
muchachulos.
actually old.
So if you guys are old, what am
Hi, Jaja.
Yo, but I'm fabulous.
There you go.
But you know the truth is,
fine.
okay, again, it's those goals, that dream that you see and all that. But I'm actually looking forward to be 30. I'm not looking forward to be 25, but I'm looking forward to be
25
30.
was such a fabulous year for me.
Like, I love my, like, early 20s. I don't want to end it. I really love my early
I don't
20s.
remember my early 20s. I remember 25.
Remember anything.
But like after that, it's like you're in that middle. I'm like, oh my gosh, that pressure and all that. But like 30 is that golden year because you're still young. Especially as a black woman, like you look fine.
You're in your prime.
You're in your prime.
Because me, do I look?
Yeah, you
old?
do.
You're the
No, you
baddest.
don't look old. You know,
And
you're a bad
and
bitch.
then,
You
then,
know,
so
you look like a bad
you look
bitch.
So young.
You
too,
know, 30s are the year where like everyone's
That is
looking
a
like,
good
hey, that's a fine woman. You know, she has a,
Totally
you know.
Even me, I think you look fine.
Disagree.
No, let me tell
But I
you.
don't think the
You
outside
feel
world is
fine and
thinking
look
that.
exactly.
No, I think
Guys are not lining up
No,
for you.
let me tell you that's their problem. I feel like in your 30s.
It's like, where are the men?
Why are they in the 20s? Anyway.
Yeah,
That's a good question. I never had
no.
it
In the
Maybe
20s, in the 20s.
It's not because of you. Maybe they've just settled down. Maybe they got their
No.
girls.
No. Let me tell you the issue these days.
What's the issue?
Millennials are acting older than our age.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So now,
Aren't you a
guys.
millennial, by the way?
No, I mean like the you people, yeah, the young
Generation
people.
what?
Generation
Z.
Z.
I'm in between Gen Z and millennial. I'm like the end of
Where does
millennials.
the Z start?
2000s.
I just consider the under 25s all as one.
No, but the way they're acting now, like when I was 25 and when I see a 25-year-old now, it's totally different. So now, and they are even more experienced than us in some
many
areas.
ways.
Some
So,
areas.
in
that
some
she
areas.
has
I don't know what you're talking
In
about.
some areas, so it is
I
very
have no idea.
like now guys are looking for that excitement, right?
That the young ones
Like the young ones bring, and,
Because
and you
you
know,
bring
a young
bills.
girl keeps you young.
you bring bills. Sheila.
And then that's why you're finding out that many 30-year-olds or plus are going for younger boys.
But hasn't it always been that way with guys?
But at
It's
some
always
point we
been
were
like
the
it
young
has
girls.
changed. It
That
has
never
changed.
happened.
No, it hasn't
Changed.
changed. It is most of the time guys go for younger girls from
Always.
way back. Let me tell you something. The guys who used to hit on you seriously were not your age. They were older.
But not way older.
But let me
Like
give you
10
an
years
example.
older than you.
Let me give you an example. Guys you might think that guys your age are going for girls my age.
No.
but
They're going for younger than you, but you're
No,
also
they're
old.
For younger than
age.
you. No. Guys in their late 30s are the ones going for you. Not
What are they doing
not
not
guys
getting
my
married by
age.
that time?
Guys our age are going for younger than you.
For the
18-year-olds. Yeah.
Guys my age are going for the 18-year-olds.
Yeah, no. So the thing that is changing now is young guys right now are now mostly going for older women. And the trend
doing
is
a dance. Yvette is doing a dance.
No, but have you seen the trend is growing? Like when you talk to young guys now, they're like, I need a woman to take care of me. I need a woman to be in control. I need this. And then the older ones are looking for the younger ones to keep them.
Hasn't it always been like that?
No, the young people had never gone for older women before.
Not in Rwanda.
Not in Rwanda. But
Openly.
now
It's very open. It's very open. And even women have no issue with dating younger.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what I realize now.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's a good
Yeah.
thing.
It's very good. I mean, I'm still not really sure if I'm down for younger men.
Please join the
Part
club.
of being 30 is being open-minded to possibilities.
To
There you go.
Don't be a
anything,
Jessica.
not anything.
Don't be a Jessica. That is the life lesson
You
here.
guys, I have no idea who Jessica is. I need to go and
Yvette,
research.
please watch Love is Blind.
Everyone is talking about Love is Blind. I'm like,
I
Because
have
Jessica
it for
is a
my
whole
laptop, you can
lesson.
get it.
I'm going to get it.
Hey, okay.
Carry on.
The movie, the series, whatever it is, not any
Who
other.
are thinking with a youngin?
Please, I beg now. I beg.
All right. Anyways, let's wrap this up. Any last thoughts on adulting and growing older? Any little tidbits that you people want to share with the people them?
Well, with I guess I'll start with what I have is what I can say is with my generation we are very lucky because we have so many examples, so many sisters to look up to, you know, to learn from and to see. There's so many conversations. Like, shout out to you for this podcast.
Thank you.
Shout out for this open table. The red table.
With metallic.
We are on a wood. So it's wood table talk.
Yeah.
Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for these platforms, this helps a lot because even for generations younger than me, they will be learning a lot from everyone. I love the fact that all these generations, all of us young people, the youth, we are so open to talk now, and it's amazing.
True.
See, you studied in US. How is it a wood table, not a wooden table? Anyway, moving on swiftly. What was the question again?
Any last tidbits?
Tidbits. Okay. So, like, seriously, just be open to the how do you call it? Ride the wave of adulting. Accept the fact that there are days that you're not going to want to get out of bed. There are days you will be scared out of your wits because of the daunting future or the fact that you feel you haven't accomplished what you want. There are days you'll be just like, high-fiving yourself for accomplishing what you've done or being, confident or maybe just, doing your stuff. So it's, for me, what I realize, it's a journey, and have self-compassion. Don't be hard on yourself, right? If you're hard on yourself, you'll be hard on others. Know that you're trying to do the best that you can. Even just staying alive in itself is trying. Stay alive, stay alive. Yeah, just be kind to yourself and know that you're trying to do the best that you can. And it's gonna be alright.
My last thoughts are: stay true to yourself, be yourself, do not be influenced by the outside world or what's the word?
Society.
Pushed by the society to do what you don't believe in, because at the end of the day, it's you that is going to be hurt or be happy at the same time. So just stay true to yourself. Whichever age you go to, you will never change your personality. So stay true to yourself.
Amina.
You know what I want to tell you people out there listening? That hangover hits different. So please, drink while you're Irebe's age. Because
even in my age, by the way, it doesn't hit the same way as I was in college.
it don't hit the same.
But still, Mambi.
Yeah, I'm still strong. But in college, I was stronger. Drink
We
water,
have
people.
We have seen stronger
Avoid all
days.
these things.
We have seen stronger days, so please just enjoy while you can.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining.
you, Balu.
It was
Hey.
SheBlooms.
Make sure to subscribe.
Yeah.
And hit the notification tab and follow us.
Thank you so much for signing off, Irene.